Greetings to you and yours. My name is David Allen Walsh. I wrote this, I composed this. This is my song. I call it Ariel Quatus. Like the little drummer boy, I play unto the Lord. I try to reach the whole world. I try to help where I can. I hope you enjoy this gift that the Lord's provided unto me to share with you. This is Ariel Quatus. My name is David Allen Welsh. I hear music in my head, and this is what I'm playing. I hope this reaches you and yours. I hope it helps and eases the difficulties in this country, in this world. The hardest part about being in this place called life is not adding insult to injury. There are a lot of variations to that theme. Divide and conquer, oppression, just a few choice words. It is not them, it is not us, it is we. And we as a human being, a human race, need to decide who we're going to serve. It's everybody's job, not just those and them. You see trash on the street, pick it up. Be responsible. See somebody who needs some assistance, stop pretending like it's somebody else's job. You want to change the world? Do it. But do it responsibly. Come together. Forget about creeds. Forget about races. Forget about color. earnestness and desire, truth, love, a lot of fancy words, but there's an awful lot of selfishness in all of that. It's not that you have to put somebody else's expectations ahead of yours. You think because that you're living in this life, you think that it's a given. Everything's owed to you. It's not. You're living in buildings, concrete, shacks, under tarps. You think because your life is not as happy and enthusiastic as somebody else's, that you want a better shot at life, and you blame it on all kinds of variations. You want change in your life. You can't have it without a cost. And you gotta count the cost. Change. Puberty is an interesting thing, but everybody's going through puberty. And it would be nice if you all would just wake up and realize you're not kids anymore. You can't play with toys, damage property, and expect somebody else's mom to clean it up. Be responsible. You're in this life because there's a purpose for you. And it isn't for you to be jealous and just find yourself being guilty of, plagiarizing. It has nothing to do with who's the richest or who's the poorest. It has to do with you. It has to do with me. What are we doing to really change this life? What is available to do? That should be the question available. With the things going on around this world, in the oceans, on the lands, the quakes, tsunamis, the weather, and people sit there and go, wow, I'm glad that's not me in that environment. All those people sit and watch, and all those people finally get a clue. Wow. You think you're not part of the real thing. You think as long as it's somewhere over there, all of a sudden it's better. Being human, being houseless, all those people that lost their homes, do you think that a portion of them actually gave any assistance to anyone that was on the street before? And now they cry out, oh wow, I have nothing now. I was better than those because they were on the street and I had a house, I had a car, I had a job. And it goes beyond that. The companies that make billions and billions and billions, cars, all those cars in Katrina, you line them up on the airport ways, and in a couple of months they were all virtually gone. They reassigned them to different parts of the country in the U.S. and abroad. They knew that the cars had been underwater, and they still wanted to make a profit. There are people suffering because they bought cars that basically were unworthyable to resell. Check the internet. Truth is really interesting. It only applies to the ones who are actually either looking for it or find it. And beyond that, it's just a question of what do you do with after you find the truth? What can you do? What will you do? Does it take stocking up arms? Does it take stocking up water? Does it take stocking up first aid? Where do you start when the real world ends in your headspace and you start to think about the bigger picture, your soul, and others' souls? that little thing that's inside of every human being. You want to see what it is? You want to get an idea of how it works? Close your eyes and say after me exactly what I'm saying. Jesus is Lord. Don't speak it out loud. Just say it to yourself in your own head. That person is who I'm speaking of. The person inside of you. When you're done here, and everybody seems to think that it's an ongoing process, but I assure you, at some point, God's going to be done, and Jesus is going to say it's time. And those who play and are on the fence and just kind of pretending, they got a bad weekend. Because why? They stocked up in this world. They got nothing laid up on high. Nothing put away. The rain, there's a rain of grace coming for every human being that believes in the Lord. This isn't a, BS scene. It's a straight cut, clear perspective. There is one God, and He gives gifts. And He gives things to human beings that otherwise are pretty perplexing. A conscience, a choice. What are you doing with your life? Are you pretending like going to church every week? At the end of the week, you apologize for everything that you ever done by sitting in the pew? That is not how it works, people. And I'm not talking about a generality. I'm talking about the people, the pastors, all the people that are sharing about the Word, about the Lord, about a God that believes that there is love and choice. What are you doing with what you have within you? The highest price is paying attention. Believe in a God or choose not to believe in a God. You live your life and you render what is left over to the end all. When people die, all their possessions are like basically passed on to whoever, but they got to go through the ferryman. And I'm not talking about a fictitious storybook. I'm talking about death and taxes. People are going to argue over what little crap you've acquired. And they're going to debate on how and why they should have whatever it is that you've got. Is it being greedy? Wow. I don't have anything. I've never had anything. Everything I acquire comes from the Lord, period. And I would hope that at least it would be for His purpose, not mine. I try to lend a hand where I can, when I can. I assisted in R2D2, assisted in Right to Dream 2. Try to help people in real time. I'm not saying hand out, I'm saying help up. Be a difference in somebody's life. Make your life worth something. The finite perspective. When you're alone and you close your eyes and you're breathing, recall and remember that the last breath that you've been given isn't yours until you claim it. Be strong and understand. When the Lord gives you something, it's for a reason and a purpose. It's not for manipulation. It's to assist and help others. The teacher is a pupil, as a pupil is a teacher. And we are all students. be mindful. Anyone who has acquired a few pennies and is sharing a God with someone in this life, for instance, Texas, a man got himself a church, a big stadium. He didn't open it until somebody said, "Oh, why didn't you open it?" And his response was blatantly, "Nobody asked me." Really? You think that you would have to be asked for all of that bad weather and everything going on around you in Texas to open up what it is that's got available as a shelter for human beings? What is the tax write-off that you're getting not enough? You're holding out for people that have next to nothing to give you more? What's wrong with this world, people? The venue, can't we all just get along? There's no reason why there needs to be any wars. No reason why other people need to be on other people's shores. No reason why anybody needs to be walking around pretending that they're better than everybody else. There's no reason why the people that are voted into office can't figure out why it is that they were voted into office. There's no reason why the presidents can borrow the plane, Air Force One, and take it somewhere when they're not the president. There's no reason why they would need to be paid an exorbitant amount and still be able to acquire things that they're not supposed to acquire. When they're out of office, they're out of office. Yet, a stipend? Yeah. But a stipend is a portion, not a full-on 31 flavors. I purposely left some of these words out because they're supposed to fall where they may. There are some people that are helping, really helping, and making a difference in people's lives. On 39th Street in Vancouver, Washington, on Saturdays, at around about 3 o'clock, people show up. They get a free meal, but it's at a cost, a very high cost. People have to attend and get there. People have to acquire things to make the food. People have to choose to want to be where they are. What's going on in your place, where you are, in your life? You just sit back and pretend that somebody else is going to take care of it. That's their job. If you're breathing in this life, you have the opportunity to make a difference in other people's lives, period. The rain falls on everyone. And yes, it does hide the tears. But you can see them quite clearly if you look. be the difference in people's lives. That is the difference, and that is real.